first I want to say thank you to Farm Sanctuary. This is such a special event, and I'm so honored to be a part of this. So thank you. Thanksgiving is one of my two favorite holidays. The other one is New Year's because I love a fresh start. But I love Thanksgiving because at its essence, it's all about gratitude. So in the spirit of gratitude, I am grateful for Farm Sanctuary for all of its important work. I'm grateful for all the organizations out there that are saving animals both directly and indirectly. I am grateful for the exploding vegan movement. It's manifesting ubiquitously in places like all these vegan restaurants and vegan menu options popping up out everywhere, vegan food products on the marketplace, even an online vegan cooking school. Shout out to Ruby. I love you, Ruby. Vegan everywhere. And the data, I'm very grateful for all of the data in the scientific literature that is building, and it is confirming that a vegan diet is the healthiest diet out there. I'm also grateful for all the vegans popping up everywhere. Like, you can't go anywhere anymore and say you're vegan without someone saying, oh, I'm vegan, or I want to be vegan, or I know a vegan, right? They're everywhere, right? It's exciting. I am vegan for the animals. It all started for me when I read John Robbins' book, Diet for a New America, when I was a teenager. And when I learned about the systems in place on how you get animals onto the plate, I was horrified and I was shocked, and I wanted nothing to do with it. But I didn't know what that meant. Neither did my parents. They're like, you want to be a veg, what? Nobody knew what to do with me. But it took me many years of research and questioning and studying. And I can stand before you after my journey with full confidence and tell you that a whole food vegan diet is the most perfect diet available to us. Right? Not only for these gorgeous animals, but also for the planet that is rapidly heating up and disappearing and being polluted. And it is also the most perfect diet for human health. And I love that. I kind of think of it as like a symbiotic trifecta, right? If everything all works together in such a gorgeous, synergistic way, doesn't that say so much that one choice, what we put on the end of our fork, can be that powerful? It just validates why it's such an important decision to make. So I come here as a vegan advocate, of course, but I also come here professionally as a dietitian. So every day I work with clients and I counsel them on how to get healthy. I take people that are really sick and I make them healthier. I get people that want to just go plant-based because they're plant curious. So this is what I do. So I want to focus on the health advocate, the health benefits of a vegan diet. So let's start with this. Food is the most powerful control you have over your entire life, right? If you think about it, your gastrointestinal tract is the primary and most consistent interface with the outside world, right? Everything you put into your body becomes a part of your cellular makeup. So you are literally what you eat. But look at what we're eating. It's crazy. The majority of people, the average people, eat about 2/3 of their calories from processed foods. And that looks like, you know, foods that are nutrient poor and also have really health damaging effects. Another 1/4 of the calories are coming from animal products. And then 12% of calories come from plants. But only half of that come from whole plants. The other half comes from incidental plants, like an almond and an almond joy, or a carrot in a carrot cake. So we literally need to take this chart and flip it completely the other way around. So what are the health benefits of a vegan diet? Well, there are so many, but what's the most substantiated in the scientific literature is right here. Now, this is like, if you look at vegans and you compare them to meat eaters, vegans have a lower body mass index and less body fat. In fact, the fewer animal products consumed, the lower the body weight in all of these studies. Vegans have a decreased risk for overall mortality, but specifically even more strongly for ischemic heart disease, which is the world's #1 killer. Vegans have lower and better blood cholesterol profiles, lower blood pressure levels, and a decreased risk for hypertension. They have lower incidence of type 2 diabetes and a decreased risk for multiple cancers.
We rock.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So what else is growing besides what's really solid in the research is all this new evidence. And we're seeing like potential that we can decrease our risk for Alzheimer's disease, which is a really scary illness, osteoporosis, macular degeneration, thyroid disease, digestive disorders, including the inflammatory bowel diseases, which are really difficult diseases. Autoimmune disease, nobody thought we could touch that. But people like Dr. John McDougall are stopping the progression of multiple sclerosis in people. It's amazing, right? Stay tuned. The list goes on and on. So ultimately, a whole food plant-based diet is superior for reducing your risk of disease, treating many illnesses and diseases, and it is the only diet that has ever reversed disease, namely type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, ischemic disease, the #1 killer in the world. So why? What happens? Okay, if you think about it, if you're eating plants and you're not eating animals, you're not getting any cholesterol because you can only get cholesterol from animals. You're getting low levels of saturated fat, which is still a good thing despite the headlines. In fact, the American Heart Association last year updated their recommendations. A heart-healthy diet is about, they recommend no more than 5 to 6% of total calories coming from saturated fat. Guess what? Vegans have an average of 5 to 6% of calories coming from saturated fat. Spot on. So you add in a single serving of an animal product and that number goes out the roof, right? So that's according to the American Heart Association. You're also not having animal protein when you don't eat animals, which is a good thing. We don't want the animal protein. It comes along with steroids and hormones and massive amounts of carcinogens. And on the flip side of that, the positive, gorgeous side of that, is that when you eat these beautiful whole plants, you're getting all of these colors and phytochemicals and fiber. Those are, phytochemicals and fiber are arguably inarguably, the two most important food nutrients because they are the ones that reduce your risk of disease. They're the most important. And by the way, fiber and phytochemicals, exclusive to plants, 0 in animals. And you're also getting all the vitamins and minerals that you need. I love this because nobody cares about your protein or your calcium or your iron until you tell them you're vegan, right? And then 1 in 3 kids go to fast food every day. Can you guys read that? Veganism is just such a radical diet. I would worry I'm not getting the right nutrients over a McDonald's burger. Okay, this is my absolute favorite graph, and this, you may recognize this. This was in Dr. T. Colin Campbell's The China Study, and I'm so grateful because he let me, I'm reprinting this in my new book, The Vegetarian Diet, because it's brilliant. So let me show you what he did. This is kind of like nutrient just excitement. This is, I could geek out on this stuff all day. So he took 500 calories of equal parts of plant foods of tomatoes, spinach, lima beans, peas, and potatoes, and he compared it to 500 calories of equal parts of beef, pork, chicken, and whole milk. I hope the animals don't hear this. So they threw this into the nutrient database and look at what came out. So there is no cholesterol in the plants and 137 in the animals, 9 times the amount of fat in the animals, and it's the bad fat, the saturated fat. There's thousands of times of beta carotene, which is a powerful antioxidant. Look at the protein, by the way. I don't know if this has a light. Do you see the protein? It's the same, 33 versus 34. Everyone's so worried about protein. We get the same amount of protein. Sure, you have to eat a little bit more plants quantity-wise, but I like to eat more food. I don't know about you, so I think that's a good thing. We also have 31 grams of fiber in the plants versus none in the animals, of course. So it just goes on and on, even 10 times the amount of iron and twice as much calcium. I mean, that's extraordinary, right? You can get everything you need from plants. So everyone's always worried about this nutrient and that nutrient, so I put this together. I'm happy to send this to anyone. It's on my website. I call it the notable nutrient sources. You can get all your nutrients if you eat a lot of leafy greens and beans and a wide variety of foods. You're gonna get everything except for B12. So everyone here that's vegan, I hope that you're taking 2,000 or 2,500 micrograms a week of B12 because that's crucial. So then what does that look like? We eat vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. Easy, and there's infinite combinations. And we avoid anything that had a mom or a face and anything that's highly processed, like oils and sugars, as best we can. So I put together my own pyramid because the USDA pyramid just wasn't accurate, and it was sponsored, and this is not sponsored. This is a real pyramid, and so the base of your diet should be fruits and vegetables. And everyone agrees, the American Institute of Cancer Research, everyone agrees that half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. And then leafy greens get their own special category because they're so chock full of nutrients. And I also have it in a plate form, and these are all on my website. I'm happy to send you guys information on this. But this is what the overall day, diet, lifestyle looks like. So let's talk about the holidays. So here are my 3 tips for navigating the holidays. Because, you know, on average, it's no secret that people gain about 5 to 10 pounds over the holidays. Anyone understand how that could happen? It's kind of easy, right? We're eating a lot, we're indulging, we're enjoying. But it doesn't have to be that way. So my 3 tips are choose whole, eat rainbows, and balance calories. So let me get into details on that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with a little tofurkey or Gardein or Beyond Meat. I mean, I have it every year around the holidays. It's fun, and it's a great way to introduce your non-vegan friends to this delicious food. But try to think of it as like the condiment and make the base of your food the whole food. So if you're out and about or you're cooking, you know, do brown rice, wild rice, or forbidden black rice instead of white rice. Instead of white bread, have a whole grain bread or a sprouted bread. Instead of a white pasta, do a whole grain pasta. And when you're sauteing, use vegetable broth or water to save hundreds or thousands of calories by not using oil. So you could just get as whole as possible, because then you get the most fiber intact, which will make you more satiated, which will make you eat more for fewer calories. And this doesn't, it's really kind of exciting, because here are some main dish ideas. A hearty lentil loaf, stuffed acorn squash, a baked tempeh or tofu dish. And there's all these wonderful recipes. I also have Chad Sarno down here, who's extraordinary culinary genius over there in the audience. And these are the only recipes I could pull online for your holiday recipes. I found a barbecued seitan brisket, that sounds insane, and crazy sexy bean chili, but check out Chad Sarno if you haven't. But there's so many great recipes out there. The world is your oyster, your vegan oyster. And tonight we're gonna have this native food Wellington. I've been dying to try this for years, I'm so excited. But there's so many delicious foods that you can enjoy. Eat the rainbows. All the colors of the rainbow represent different phytochemicals and different nutrients that have very powerful health benefits. So try to infuse all of your meals with as many rainbows as possible. Serve your food on a bed of cooked greens or over salad. You know, just put some fruits in there. Just everything should be very, very colorful, and try to get the rainbow every day. Okay, now this is the most obvious tip, but it might be one of the most important, and that's to balance your calories. So plan ahead. If you're gonna have your big Thanksgiving feast, eat a little bit less before and a little bit less afterwards. And on the flip side of that, calorie output. A lot of people let their fitness go during the holidays, but I recommend really sticking with your fitness routine, even upping the ante a little bit if you're motivated, because it'll help you stay healthy and, you know, balance your calories throughout the holiday season. So in conclusion, the best diet possible for optimal health, to reduce your risk of diseases, to even reverse certain diseases, to feel fabulous and stay lean, to be compassionate and grateful, and tread lightly on the earth, is a whole food vegan diet. And it's a combination of the most health promoting foods and the least health damaging foods that ultimately results in optimal health. And I want to end with this beautiful quote that I heard at the plant-based nutrition conference this year, and it's Dr. Terry Mason. Many of you may know him, but he says, "Healthcare happens at your table, your kitchen is your lab, your pantry is your pharmacy." Thank you so much.